Mama, do you hear that?
Huh?
Do you hear that?
I don't hear a thing.
Well, there you go. That's because Chip's father just told him a very special nap time story, and he is now fast asleep.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, but it's really no big deal to those of us who understand how to handle children.
Oh, you think you know a lot about that now, do you?
Well, I don't like to brag, but Mama, I do seem to have a special knack for it. Have you seen my keys?
You're going out so early?
Yeah. I wanted to stop by the hospital and see how Kelly's doing, and I thought that maybe I'd drop in at the office and make a couple phone calls, see if I could locate Rick. Here we are.
Mijo, listen to me. You shouldn't be wasting your time looking for your brother. He'll turn up sooner or later, just like he always does.
Yeah, well, I think he probably will, but I don't want to sit around and wait for him this time, you know? I think it's wrong that he always runs away from things the minute something goes wrong with his life. I'd like to grab him by the shoulders for a change and point him in the right direction.
Are you saying that I failed him?
No, Mama, we always have this conversation. You know I don't blame you. I grew up with a father just like he did, and I turned out okay.
You turned out a lot more than okay.
All right, so I'm just going to try to find him. I'm not going to break his legs or anything.
Cruz.
No, let's talk about this later, really. I want to make sure I get to the hospital before he wakes up again. So I'll see you later, okay? Thank you. All right.
Go on. Ándale. I have practice with this. I know what we're doing. Bye. Sí, mijito, ahí voy. Ya viene abuelita.
I've decided to keep a daily journal of my findings here at the convent. Should anything happen to me, this will provide a record of everything I see and learn. Unfortunately, in the time that I've been here, I haven't discovered much that I can write about. I don't understand what Father Michael is all about, and I don't understand why he's keeping Sister Sarah locked in that room in the basement. She's the closest I've come to whatever mystery these walls are hiding. Sarah herself is a mystery. She's terrified of something. What? Yes?
Sister. I'm sorry. Well, where is he?
Well, is this the on-call room?
Yes.
Well, this is where they said he'd be.
Oh, just like the doctor. You know, you're never there when you need him.
Why do you want to speak to Scott? I mean, do you think he did it too? You suspect him?
Why must you be such an airhead? I want to talk to Scott to get some information about the poison that was given to Kelly. I have a prime suspect, Jeffrey Conrad.
Well, Jeffrey didn't do it. Why don't you try Pamela, who maybe got a little help from ТиДжей? That's where I'd put my money.
I would love to include ТиДжей and Pamela on the prime list of prime suspects, but I cannot depend upon hunches.
Well, if you'd seen them down at the beach bar together, acting so suspiciously, you wouldn't have to depend on a hunch. I'm telling you, Pamela is hiding something. I'd bet my life on it.
They won't accept your life as evidence in a court of law, darling.
You don't have any evidence against Jeffrey anyway.
Well, a couple hours, I probably will. As soon as they bring me Kelly's life insurance policy. The price is right. We got our killer.
Sorry, darling. I didn't want to wake you. I was trying to be so quiet.
Kelly, how's Kelly?
Nothing new, darling.
What time is it?
Oh, it's about 10 o'clock. Why don't you just go back to sleep?
No. I never even meant to. I must have just dozed off.
You do look exhausted.
God. I dreamed about her. I dreamed she died.
Come on, Jeffrey, you shouldn't do this to yourself. They're doing everything humanly possible.
Who could have done this to her, huh? I mean, Kelly is the kindest, most loving person. Who would want to try and hurt her?
It's horrible. It's just horrible.
I feel so lost without her already.
Look, darling, you have to be strong now. You have to be stronger than... than any other time.
I love her so much. And what if I never get a chance to make it up to her? Jesus, you can't take it from me now, you can't.
Donnie, why don't you get some rest while I fix you some breakfast?
I mean, how can you think of food right now? It's like I should never have let you talk me into leaving that hospital. I'm going back.
Honey, she's not even going to be aware that you're there. She's in a coma.
Don't you understand? I love her.
The role of Kelly Capwell Conrad is now being played by Kimberly McCarthur.
Dear God, please make her all right, huh? Please make her well.
You know, I am sick and tired of the stupid vendetta of yours, Keith, of constantly going after the Capwells because you hate them so much and everybody else related to them.
You're not so crazy about these people either, are you?
No, but I'm not obsessed with them. It doesn't take up my whole life. Besides, I'm supposed to be your only obsession. Oh, wait, not here? What are we doing? Oh, get away.
Has it ever occurred to you that my intensity in pursuing this case might have something to do with the fact that I want to find the person that tried to kill Kelly?
For some reason, I find that hard to believe.
That's because you don't need proofs for something you already believe. You have a closed mind.
I have a closed mind. I think one of us is hallucinating. But I have been doing a lot of thinking, Keith. And I've got an idea. I think we should just pack up and leave this town like we told СиСи we were going to do after the wedding.
What wedding? And why would you want to keep your promise to a tyrant?
Just go somewhere else and start over right at the top.
Like where?
Like anywhere. It doesn't matter where we go, but as long as we stay here in the same town as the Capwells, we're constantly going to be fighting amongst ourselves.
No, it isn't amongst ourselves. It's among ourselves. As a matter of fact, it's between ourselves. You fight between yourselves.
Keith, this is exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about.
What?
I don't need an English lesson, Keith. I just need to get out of here, away, start over someplace new.
Oh, yeah. Right. I can be like a janitor, and you can be like a short-order cook. Sounds great.
It doesn't really matter what we do.
You said you want to go away and start up the top.
Well, that isn't always possible. I mean, the point is nothing is keeping us here. We have custody of Fran, and we have no reason to stay.
Yes, I think we do. I want to start with a big, fat nest egg. It suddenly occurred to me that if we want to relocate to a place which would have the kind of style to which we want to become accustomed, it's going to be very expensive. I think maybe $1 million. $1 million, and I will relocate to a more hospitable area.
$1 million. That's all it would take.
All it'd take for me to run away from home.
You don't know when to quit, do you?
I don't even know where to begin.
It's because you're handling too many patients.
Couldn't agree more. Why don't you stop at admissions on the way out? Drop a hint about how understaffed we are.
I worry about you, Scott. Keep this up, you're gonna knock yourself into the ground.
If you keep that up, you're gonna drive me crazy.
Really?
You like that, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to know I'm capable of it.
Scott, how is she?
I'm sorry, Jeffrey, there's been no change. Did you get some sleep?
Yeah, a little. Can I go in and see her?
Oh, of course. Go ahead.
What are you doing here?
Look, just relax, all right? I wanted to make sure she was okay.
Get up. Just get up.
You want to tell me something? What the hell right have you got, huh? Where the hell you been? You don't have the decency to even stay by your wife's side while she's in a coma. What happens if she woke up? How about if she was calling you, huh?
Okay, you tell me something. Did you stay here all night?
What if I did, huh? Easy, man, easy.
Hey, what do you think you're doing, this guy?
Stop it. Trying to come between Kelly and me for months now. You're not gonna get away with it, man.
I said stop it now. This is a hospital. ТиДжей, I want you to go right now. Jeffrey, your wife is very sick in there right now. And if you want to see her, then you're going to have to start thinking more about her and less about your feelings about ТиДжей. Do you want to be in there or not?
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Yeah, well, you're not me, lady, okay? Besides, what I do is none of your business.
Don't you even have the good sense to know you're just causing trouble right now? Stay away from them. Stay away from her.
Coming from you, that's a joke.
She's sick. She's in a coma.
You're trying to convince me that you care, huh? Is that it? You don't think I know that you put her in the hospital?
What are you talking about?
I know you tried to kill her, Pam, all right?
That is insane.
It may be insane, but I'm gonna prove it. How about I tell the police about that little plan of yours to have me separate Jeffrey and Kelly? I think they'd be interested in that.
You really think they're going to believe anything you tell them now? If you know what's good for you, you stay away from this hospital and just keep your mouth shut.
I'm sorry. I should have waited.
That's all right.
The heat is almost paralyzing, isn't it?
Yes, it's unbearable.
What were you writing?
Nothing important. Is there something that you wanted, Father?
Yes, actually, I wanted to go over some details of the auction with you. In my office, if you have time.
Yes, certainly. As soon as I'm dressed, I'll come right upstairs.
Thank you.
I understand the emotional strain that you must be feeling right now. But if there's a repetition of what happened in here, I'm going to have to restrict your visitation privileges.
You can't keep him from seeing his own wife.
I can do anything I need to protect my patient. Surely you support me in that, Mrs. Conrad. Now, there's no way for us to know exactly what a patient who is in a coma hears or absorbs. So I don't want any disturbance in this room of any kind. I just can't allow it.
I would never do anything to hurt her.
How did this whole thing get started, anyway?
I walked in here, I saw ТиДжей sitting here next to Kelly. I just went crazy.
All right, look, I understand, but no more. Agreed?
Uh-huh. Well, just do me a favor. Keep him away from her, all right?
Dr. Scott, may I have a moment alone with my son?
Yes, but the same thing goes for you. I don't want any disturbances in here of any kind.
You've made your point, Doctor, several times over.
I'm glad we communicate so well.
Oh, my poor darling, I must have hurt you so to see that man sitting in here with your wife.
He was acting like he belonged here, you know that?
What gall. Oh, I know what terrible pain you must be in, darling. I just wish there was
You
something...
couldn't possibly know what I'm feeling. Nobody could. And I'd like to be alone with her, please.
Oh, Jeffrey, don't push me away right now. I'm only trying to help.
You will
darling.
help me and just get out, okay? Just go, go.
How is she?
Still no change. Listen, I'm starving. I haven't had a chance to eat breakfast. Would you like to come with me?
Can I eat too, or do I just have to watch?
I'll buy you one of your very own.
Dr. Clark. How's my daughter?
Still no change, Mr. Capwell. I would have gladly notified you if there was any news to report.
Well, I didn't feel there was any harm in inquiring.
There isn't, but I don't have anything to tell you.
May I speak to you in private for a moment?
It's all right, Scott. Take your time.
What can I do for you, Mr. Capwell?
I called New York last night. I was able to reach Dr. Heinrich Gelf. He's one of the top toxicologists in the country.
I've heard of Dr. Gill.
I'm sure you have. He told me he can be here by 8:15 this evening.
Are you saying that you feel that the hospital and its entire staff of physicians aren't capable of handling your daughter's needs?
I am not saying anything of the sort that has no reflection on you or the hospital or your staff or your associates. We're talking about my daughter now, and you are a resident, and I have a right to get the best medical help possible.
What is it, Mr. Capwell? Didn't I go to the right Ivy League medical school?
I don't understand why you're taking this as a personal attack, Doctor. I do not question your education or your ability. What I do question, however, is your objectivity.
My objectivity? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I've been working around the clock to make sure Kelly gets everything she could possibly need. Is it that I've become too close to this case?
That's not what I mean, and you know it.
Then what do you mean, Mr. Capwell? We've turned this floor upside down to provide for Kelly, but that still isn't enough, is it? Nothing is ever really enough for the high and mighty Capwells.
You are way out of line, my boy. And if you really want to know the truth, I'll tell you what worries me. Your feelings towards me, your resentment towards me.
Even if I hated you and your entire family, I would never let that interfere with my performance as a doctor. I give 100% all the time. That's what the Hippocratic Oath is all about, Mr. Capwell.
Hello, sister.
Father?
My one and only solid gold watch.
Yes, well, that's beautiful.
I was thinking of your idea of having an auction to raise the money. I like it.
Thank you.
I gave away almost everything I owned when I was ordained, but I kept this. It's probably worth a lot of money.
Is it a family heirloom?
Yeah, it's a gift from my father. Well, supposedly.
Supposedly?
Yeah, none of the gifts I ever got from my father were actually from my father. My mother would buy them and put his name on the card. I always felt that somehow, well, couldn't possibly be interesting to you.
Oh, yes, it is, Father. Very interesting.
Well, it was a long time ago. Maybe we'll talk about it some other time.
You mean you still haven't told Eden what happened?
I haven't had a chance.
Mr. C, don't you think she'd want to be with Kelly right now? I mean, she's going to be furious with us if we don't make some effort to get in touch with her.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. I'll take full responsibility.
Do you know where she is right now?
I'm sorry, Cruz. I don't want Eden to hear this kind of news right now. It would be devastating to her, and frankly, in her state at this moment in time, I think she wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Her state at this moment in time?
Yes, I'm talking about this whole situation she's been wrapped around with Chip.
Look, I'm not going to argue that it's been difficult for her to deal with Chip, but she is making adjustments to it. And besides, that's between Eden and me. It has nothing to do with what's going on here. I think she has a right to know about Kelly.
I know the kind of right she has. I just don't think it's the right time to tell her. That's all at this particular moment.
You know, I admire you a great deal. You know that, but I got to tell you, I don't understand the way you react in situations like this. My relationship with your daughter is based on each of us being honest with the other, no matter what.
Look, son, I'll tell you what, let's make a deal about something, all right?
I don't...
What are you doing? What the hell are you doing in there with Kelly? You have no right to be in Santa Barbara. What are you doing in there?
Yes, you've made that abundantly clear on several different occasions, СиСи. And I am planning to leave.
Planning to leave is not enough. We had an agreement.
As soon as Jeffrey is able to go with me, I'm going. Returning back to England. That is, of course, as soon as Kelly's well enough to go with us.
You're not taking Kelly anywhere, ever.
Well, we'll just see about that, won't we?
Hello, СиСи.
Hello, Pamela.
How's Kelly?
There's no change. Still in a coma.
I just came by to tell you how sorry I am.
Thank you.
And Sophia?
Well, it seems you're taking a toll on all of us. She's at home resting right now.
I'll stop by and see her later on.
Thank you.
Have you been able to reach Iden yet?
No, not yet.
I know that this is a terrible time for all of you, especially for you and Sophia. I'm going to have a special novena said for Kelly tonight. And you know, of course, that I pray for all of you every day.
Thank you, Pamela. That means a great deal to all of us.
You know, it's such a joy to have children, but sometimes it can be very painful, too. When they're first born, you think they're children and they'll need you as parents until they're out of school and off on their own. But very soon you realize that you'll be protecting them and worrying about them every single day for as long as you live. That kind of caring doesn't end, does it?
No. No, it doesn't.
Kelly's going to be all right. You'll see. She's a sweet, wonderful girl, and she has so much to live for. Just have faith.
I'll try.
You know, СиСи, there's nothing you can do for Kelly here now. Why don't we go over to the cafeteria and have a cup of coffee? The break will do you good.
You let me by? Okay.
It's so damn typical. СиСi actually thinks that he could pay for Kelly's recovery. Send for specialists. The more expensive, the better. There's nothing this Gelf guy can do that I haven't already done.
All right, Scott, but it's his choice. And if it gives him comfort, if it makes it feel like he's doing something to help, then what's the harm in
Heather,
it?
the man said he had reservations about my objectivity. I felt like I was kicked in the gut. And then he actually insinuated that I would neglect Kelly or be less than thorough in my treatment with her because of some kind of bias I have with the Capwell family.
Well, you do, don't you?
It doesn't matter whether I do or not. I would never let that interfere with my work.
I know that, Scott, and Mr. Capwell must too. You just probably misunderstood what he meant.
No, I didn't. СиСi has no respect for me at all. What would it take, I wonder? Maybe an office in Zurich, or if he had to fly me in, perhaps?
Scott, don't you think you're being just a little bit unfair here? I mean, here's a man who's terrified that his daughter is going to die. What father in his right mind wouldn't send for the best available help? And if СиСi can afford it, why not do it?
Because he doesn't need to. I am the best available help.
Scott, you're completely missing my point.
No, I'm not, Heather. I get the point. Whatever is the most expensive is automatically the best, right?
So you object to consultation?
I'm not being asked to consult. I'm being asked to step aside. And please, don't tell me that I'm being paranoid about this. I see what's happening. I'm not just imagining it.
No, but you're overreacting to it.
You know something? Maybe you can't understand what I'm going through because you've never been there. Your father is one of the big guns that СиСi would love to have flown in.
Scott,
all expenses paid.
That doesn't make me the enemy,
Yeah, but I'm
Scott.
sorry. You're driving me crazy with this attitude of yours.
You know what, Scott? You know what? You're angry right now, and you're not thinking about what you're saying. So I'm going to leave before we both say something that we're going to regret.
How's it going?
This is the age of modern medicine, huh? I thought they could cure almost anything.
Sure, Dr. Clark is doing everything humanly possible, Jeffrey.
And what happens when that isn't enough?
I suppose you can put your faith in the powers beyond and pray.
I hate to break up this little tableau, but I have a few official words I need to have with Mr. Conrad here.
Outside. Outside.
What are you doing here, Pete?
I told you I have a few questions for Mr. Conrad.
Didn't you ask him a few questions last night?
No, yeah, I did ask him some questions last night, but last night was last night. I have some questions for him tomorrow.
What do you want? What do you want?
The truth.
Are you saying I'm lying to you?
No, I'm not saying anything. I just want to find out what happened. Let's go back to the party last night. Do you remember who gave Kelly her last drink?
No.
Remember who gave her something to eat?
I don't remember.
Who was the nearest person to her when she collapsed?
I was, I think.
You think?
I was the person closest to her, but it was a party. There were a lot of people there, you understand?
You were with her for the entire evening?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that a yes or a no?
It means I spent a lot of time with her, but, you know, there may have been a few minutes we were apart. I don't remember the exact sequence of events, see?
Did you bring her all the drinks?
What the hell are you trying to get at?
Do you have some reason, some tangible reason to think he had anything to do with this? Yes or no? Is he a suspect?
I tell you, I suspect everyone. I suspect no one.
Well, that's just beyond me. Why don't you take your unfathomable genius elsewhere and apply it to your job?
Would you?
Try and find out who really did this, Keith.
No, I think I have, but until I'm sure. Why does Mr. Conrad not stray out of the city limits? Good day, gentlemen.
Does Timmons seriously think I tried to poison my wife?
He doesn't think, Jeffrey. He's an amoeba. Look, why don't you go on in there and be with her? I'll worry about him.
Yeah, thanks, man. Goodwill.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I thought you'd left.
No. СиСи would be delighted if I would, but I'm not quite that easily to run off. Did I just see Keith Timmons leaving?
Yes, you did.
Well, what does he have to say about his investigation?
Not much, really. He came to question your son.
Jeffrey? He surely doesn't suspect Jeffrey.
Well, when you stop and think about it, it's not really that far-fetched an idea. I mean, after all, Jeffrey is the victim's husband.
Are you telling me you think he has a right to be questioning my son?
Right has nothing to do with it. He's conducting an investigation.
Well, I think it's downright disgusting. How dare he?
He dares quite easily. Tell me, you were at the party also, weren't you?
Me? Yes, I stopped by.
Well, did you see anything out of the ordinary? Someone who didn't seem to belong there, perhaps? Someone hanging around Kelly?
No. I didn't notice anyone, but I wasn't watching her that closely. Why?
Well, somebody at that party wanted her dead. And I can't, for the life of me, imagine who would want that. Can you, Pamela?
truce.
I think that depends on you more than me. You're the one who's so angry.
All right. I've gotten over it. I'm sorry if I said anything out of line.
What, you don't know whether you did or not?
Actually, no, I don't. I was just kind of running off at the mouth. I'd like to take you to a movie, try to make up for it. How about dinner and a movie? How about an expensive dinner and a cheap movie?
Okay.
Okay to which?
Okay to all of them.
Well, I hope you appreciate this because I don't think I can afford to make this kind of surrender all the time.
Oh, is that what this is? A surrender?
No, look, that's not what I was trying to say. I guess my mouth isn't working right today.
Maybe we should see what we can do about keeping your mouth shut.
Sounds good.
Whoa! Hope I'm not interrupting something.
Back to us, baby. We need you. We all need you so much. Here, my boys. Try to answer me. Please, baby, give me some sign that you understand me. Please?
Anything?
No movement at all.
How can this go on for so long?
It won't, Jeffrey. It won't go on for long. She's going to come back to us. I know it.
Okay, look, I'll stay with her now. I'll stay with her. Okay?
What do you want, Timmons?
Information.
Information?
Yeah. About something called Donadrin, the drug that was given to Kelly.
Why? Oh, please, don't tell me you're actually going to prosecute somebody.
Maybe.
I already filed a report.
Yeah, I know. I read your report. It only states here what the drug is and how much was ingested. I'm looking at something a little more important, like how easy is it to get Donadrin?
Depends on how badly you want to get it. It's sold legally as a prescribed drug, but it's as easy to get as any other tranquilizer.
Is it particularly strong?
It comes in 5, 10, 20 milligram capsules, but it's especially dangerous when consumed with alcohol.
Did you prescribe it to Kelly?
No.
Could this have been an accidental overdose?
I doubt it. Kelly didn't want to take any medication at all.
Well, thank you. Now you can leave.
Well, thank you. I've got to get back to work.
I've been looking all over for you. Boy, you're hard to find. Wait till you hear the news I've got.
In a minute.
No, now. Keith, I gotta tell you, when I found out, you won't believe what I saw. It was over at the hospital.
Here you go, Mr. Timmons. Information you look for.
Thank you very much.
Where was I now? I was at the hospital, and I was standing there, and what is that?
Think? Yes, it's what I've been waiting for.
Well, what is it?
It is the key to the mystery. No wonder he tried to bump her off.
looking for my prayer book.
You didn't have a prayer book when you came in here before.
I didn't. Well, then I must be losing my mind. I could have sworn that I... Well, I'm sure that it's in my room. I will go see. Excuse me, Father.
Sister, just a minute.
Yes, Father.
Would you like to talk some more?
Well, yes, of course, if you'd like. Actually, Father, would you mind my asking what brought you here originally?
Here, you mean the mission?
And to Santa Barbara?
Well, when I came out of seminary, I was assigned here.
And where was your seminary?
In the East.
Do you go back there?
No, not if I can help it. Now it's my turn to ask a question. Where did you say you were from?
Arizona, mainly.
Uh-huh. It's a beautiful country there.
Yes. Have you been there?
Briefly, you said you did legal work there?
Yes.
Do you ever go back to Arizona?
No, I can't imagine going back there, nor can I imagine doing law work again.
It's funny, I would find law fascinating.
After working with criminals and seeing violent acts day after day, well, it took its toll on me, which is why I'm at the convent now.
Well, I think you made a very wise decision. In the church, you're never really alone. The outside world is seldom that tolerant.
I think the important thing is that we learn to forgive ourselves. Did you always want to be a priest?
Not really. Well, I always felt I had a calling, but at the time there seemed to be more pressing considerations. I was a police officer, actually, before I took my vows.
A policeman? Really? Seems so far removed from the priesthood.
Well, for me, it was a natural progression.
What kind of police work did you do?
Homicide. And I suppose as the way it was for you, it just got to be too much dealing with the criminals and seeing the incredible disregard for human life, the horror, all the waste.
I'm sure that it was very painful for you. I know how I felt, and I was a lot less involved than you were.
Well, we saw the chronic offenders, you know, every day, the dregs of humanity. Finally, I had to find something else. I had to find something that was an affirmation of life, not a negation. And I pray I found that in the church.
I see. Don't you find that you run into the same type of person here?
Well, perhaps, but I feel as though here I have a chance to do something for them. Maybe I'm deluding myself, but...
Get out of here. You have no right coming into this room.
Oh, Jeffrey, I have every right.
Yeah? What makes you think that?
The people of the sovereign state have given me the right to bring you in, sonny boy. Now you can come loudly or you can come quietly. With or without these fashionable bracelets.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Bring me in.
For questioning.
Questioning? You just spent 10 minutes questioning me out in the...
That was informal. This is formal. You see, certain new facts have come to my attention that lead me to believe that you were directly involved, if not solely responsible for the attempted murder of your wife.
What are you doing here?
Oh, Bruce, I'm so glad you're home. Guess what?
What, Mama?
I think Chip is about to take his first steps.
Oh, well, don't get your hopes up. He's had me thinking that since the day he got here.
Well, I've raised 3 children of my own. I should certainly know when a child is ready to start walking.
Oh, yeah? Well, then what would be your prediction? You think he'll use his right foot first or his left?
Well, I don't know everything.
Well, I'm glad you admit it.
Well, just come on, come.
Oh, wait, that might be Eden. I gotta take this.
I'll let you talk privately.
Thank you. Hello? What? When? No, no, Dave, don't worry about it. We'll deal with it. Yes. Immediately. Moronic, mindless...
Who was that?
That was СиСи. The district attorney has just taken Jeffrey Conrad down to police headquarters for questioning. It looks like they're going to charge him with the murder of his own wife, which is ridiculous, and I got to get down there. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Michael.
Sure.
I thought I'd take a chance and come back. And I hope you know I'm here. Kelly, I'm always going to be here for you. Whatever tries to keep me away. I got something else to tell you, too. Whoever did this to you is going to pay. I'm going to see to that personally.